Hello, Bernie here. I'm going to talk to you now about asking questions. How do you know about what these are? What are they? They're letters. And what are they part of? They're part of a thing called the alphabet. That's correct. How do you know about the alphabet? How do you know what colour is what? How do you know that that's red with yellow dots? How do you know that that's green? How do you know that that is orange? How do you know that that's a book? Because you ask questions. Questions are the way we find out about things. So, what are questions? I've just used one. What? What is that? What is that? What is that over there? What's that doing? What's that smell? Who did that? So first of all, what? We need to find out what something is. The next one, how? How does that happen? Have you ever used a remote control on a television? Yeah. Yeah? How does it work? On the basis of it, we press a button and it changes the telly. We've also probably got one for the radio. We may have one. We've got one for the car. Your parents have got one for the car. So they go beep and the lights flash and then the doors open, right? How does it work? It works by pressing a button. But how does it work? Well, there's clever science inside it. There's batteries. There's infrared lasers and things like that. Stuff that we don't need to understand. But that's how things work. Where? Where's another question? Where is it? Where are you? Where have you been? Where's your homework? Where's the dog? Where's my chocolate? So that's another question. And you only find out things by asking questions. When? When did that happen? Who likes history? Who knows when the Battle of Britain was? We also know about the Battle of Hastings. 1066. It's one of the things that we know about English history. Also, when were the Olympics in London? London 2012. So when is a really important thing to ask as well. When is also about what time it is. When do you start school? When do you finish school? Next question is why? Why does that happen? Why did that happen? Why do we get wet? I don't know. Why is water wet? Is water wet, or do we think it's wet because that's how it feels on our skin? I don't know. Scientists know. And the final question is who? So these are really important questions. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I'm in class, I think, I don't really want to put my hand up. I don't know this, but I feel silly if I ask a question. Let me tell you, the only way anyone ever finds anything out is by trying something themselves or asking questions. Now, I can guarantee if you have a question to ask your teacher, your parents, your grandma, your uncle, people you meet, then other people will have that question as well. So sometimes you will ask a question in class, you'll say, Miss, how do you spell cheese? How do you spell dice? How do you spell captain? And someone else will be wondering that as well, but they weren't brave enough to ask the question. So sometimes it's about being brave, because when you ask a question for yourself, you also ask that question for everybody else. How did you learn things when you were a baby? When you were a baby or a toddler? When a baby, babies can't really speak. They cry and they eat and that's about it. But when you become a toddler, when you start to use language, when you start to use words, when you start to use the alphabet, how do you find things out? If you've got any baby brothers or sisters or cousins who are about 2, their favourite word is often why. Time for bed. Why? Have you eaten your drink? Have you drunk your drink? Why? Time for pyjamas. Why? 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 Sometimes they ask thousands of questions every day. And you know why? Because they want to know things, because they want to have that knowledge and that information. We're programmed to know stuff. So when we don't know something, there's a little niggle in the back of our minds that says, oh, we need to know this. I don't know this. I need to ask a question. But we kind of sometimes put that down because we don't want to ask too many questions. Do you know what, though? It's really important to ask a question. So sometimes you just have to be brave, pull on your brave pants, put your hand up and ask a question, because here's a phrase that I want you to remember. The expert in anything was once a beginner. And the only way beginners learn things is by asking questions and then practicing what they're trying to learn. So use the questions. We were given questions as a way of using language so that we could find things out. Please don't be scared of using questions. Please ask questions as much as you can, because the only way you're going to get all that knowledge into that amazing brain of yours is by asking questions and listening to the answers your teachers, your parents, your uncles, your aunts, or anybody else gives you. So questions, vitally important. Please use them as much as you can, and don't ever be scared to ask a question.